Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Join the Patreon for these sheets and a whole bunch more, and like and subscribe for a brighter future next time you play. Maybe. Today we're building Domino and Cable, premier members of the X-Force, not a pizza place and a utility bill. For those, you just need haste to deliver in 30 minutes or less, and power word pain to cancel your cable bill, because it's 2021, who's using cable anymore?
I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky.
We'll start off with Domino, but if you want to be a time traveler, I guess you could jump ahead to Cable. For Domino, we need luck, big luck, absolutely never failing anything type luck. Next, we need some stellar reflexes, helping you make your own luck. Finally, we'll make sure that we can land impossible shots, impossible for anyone else at least. For stats, we'll be using the standard point array from the player's handbook. Roll for stats if you want, just keep your multi-classing minimums in mind. Dexterity will be number 1. Your reflexes are superhuman, and you're so used to them being superhuman, they're even more superhuman, if that makes sense. Charisma next, turns out never failing anything makes you pretty cool. Wisdom after that, you're the one sneaking up on other people, not the other way around. Follow that up with intelligence. I would imagine Domino is great at trivia night. It's investigation to find all the answers in the trash can, right? Constitution is a bit low. You don't ever have to get hit, so you're probably not great at taking hits. And we'll dump strength, we can fix it up easier than the other skills. Mutants aren't human. I want a bunch of skills. Half-elves get a bunch of skills. Let's go half-elf. First, you get +2 charisma and +1 wisdom and dexterity, because those are the points I want for free. It's more skill point bonuses than almost any other starting option. You get 60 feet of dark vision, Fey ancestry for advantage on saves against being charmed, and you can't be put to sleep with magic. You also get 2 skills of your choice. Perception and persuasion seem like good options for me, though I'll be totally honest, I'm gonna lose track of the skills we have by the end of this. Take the spy background for stealth and deception skills. Infiltration is always a useful skill, and you can infiltrate places while dressed up as the 5th member of KISS. Obviously, you're pretty good at it. We'll kick things off as a rogue. They're the best with skills, grabbing 4 at the first level. Athletics, acrobatics, sleight of hand, and investigation, that's 8 skills at level 1, but that's not all. With expertise, you can double your proficiency bonus with 2 skills of your choice. Athletics will make up for dumping strength, and acrobatics will help you do sweet backflips every time. You might even be lucky enough to avoid a combat entirely with all this, but just in case you're not, use sneak attack to add a d6 of damage to an attack when you have advantage on the roll or an ally within 5 feet. You have to be using a finesse or ranged weapon as well. You tend to be using the pew-pews, and Wade can take the boo-boos standing up front. That's what I call teamwork. Second level rogues get cunning action, letting you dash, disengage, or hide as a bonus action. It's pretty easy to get away from people when they can't hit you. Third level rogues can get a little silly, especially as a swashbuckler. Rakish audacity lets you add your charisma modifier to your initiative, and you can land your sneak attack on creatures within 5 feet of you as long as there's no other creature next to you. It can be hard getting close to Domino. She's a bit stabby. Your fancy footwork means that nothing can hit you with an opportunity attack after you've attempted a melee attack against them, so you don't even have to hit, though really I can't see you missing, especially after you use your steady aim to get advantage as a bonus action on your turn if you haven't moved. That's advantage every round if you can find the right position. My guess is you'll manage, and if you can manage that, you can also manage 2d6 sneak attack damage. 4th level rogues can get lucky. You could grab it earlier with custom lineage, but then you don't have as many skills. In my mind, I don't think Domino really starts until at least level 4 anyway. Lucky gives you 3 luck die you can use to give yourself advantage on a skill check, ability check, or attack roll, or you could use it to give a creature disadvantage when they're attacking you. That's the start. We'll start kicking it into overdrive soon. First, we need to bounce over to Bard, giving you another skill like intimidation. Ideally, you'll be nice, but you can escalate things pretty quickly if you need to, like a block falling game effect. I'll come up with a better name for it. Jenga! You get Bardic Inspiration to help the team. That's a number of d6s per long rest you can give your allies to add to attack rolls, ability checks, or saving throws to spread the luck around. The real luck was the friends we made along the way. For spells and cantrips, True Strike gives you advantage on a weapon attack next round. It's really bad. Almost as bad as complaining about not liking a character when you're getting 7 times as much content in a month. That's stinky. Vicious Mockery forces a wisdom saving throw on a creature. Failing that, they take 2d4 psychic damage and have disadvantage on their next attack roll. It can be a little humiliating fighting Domino. It might honestly be better fighting Deadpool. For first level spells, Featherfall lets you prevent falling damage for up to 5 falling creatures, giving you a truck full of pillows to cushion your fall. Bane forces a charisma saving throw on up to 3 creatures, giving them a d4 penalty to their attack rolls and saving throws for up to a minute. In terms of relativity, if the people who are shooting at you are unlucky, that makes you lucky. Charm Person forces a wisdom saving throw on a creature. Failing that, they're charmed by you for an hour, which isn't mind control. It's just advantage on charisma checks. It's a winning smile or a fearsome scowl. Finally, Fairy Fire is a flashbang that forces a dexterity saving throw on creatures in a 20-foot cube. cube. Failing that, they can't turn invisible, and all your buddies get advantage on attacks against them. That's free sneak attack from a distance, which will help the rest of the X-Force too, since everyone has a gun. It's a 90s comic. There were more ammo belts than shirts. Second level bards get Jack of all trades, letting you add half your proficiency bonus to any skill check you're not proficient with. This will round off the few skills you don't actually have on your sheet, but funnily enough, it also jacks up your initiative rolls even higher, pairing with Rakish Audacity to basically give you spidey senses. Song of Rest lets your allies heal an extra d6 on short rests as you sing a little song. Punk rock can be very soothing. It's hard to be angry when you've screamed all your anger out. For this level spell, Heroism gives a creature temporary HP equal to your Charisma modifier at the start of their turn, and they're immune to being frightening as well. It's supreme confidence and a little health that's not health to make the bullets whiz past you. Third level bards get another set of Expertise. Sleight of Hand and Stealth are probably the most regularly used Domino options, but for even more picks, join the Lore College for 3 more skills like Insight, Survival, and History. Pick something else if you don't like History. I just think it makes sense when you're friends with a time traveler. The main reason to go Lore Bard is Cutting Words, to lower your enemy's attack rolls or ability checks with your Bardic Inspiration die as a reaction, a nice backup for your luck die, or a way to hold all your luck die for later. You gotta know when to hold them, know when to roll them, know when to disengage, know when to dash. What am I talking about? Enhance ability. That will give a creature advantage on skill checks of a certain type for an hour. If you choose Strength, they double their carrying capacity. If you choose Dexterity, they don't take falling damage from heights of 20 feet or less. And if you choose Constitution, they get 2d6 temporary HP. That should help you save your luck die. Putting it on your Dexterity with Expertise in Acrobatics will make you virtually impossible to grapple. 4th level bards get another ability score improvement or feat, and Sharpshooter will help you land those truly wacky shots. Ignoring all but full cover with ranged weapon attacks, you can fire at max range without disadvantage, or take a -5 penalty to your attack roll to add 10 to the damage roll if you really need a headshot. Make sure you have steady aim up first. For this level spell, Locate Object lets you find either a specific object or a broader type of object within 1,000 feet of you for up to 10 minutes, depending on your concentration. Have you ever lost your keys or glasses? Domino hasn't. 5th level bards get a Font of Inspiration, so your inspiration die will recover on short rests instead of long rests. Make sure you spend them. You don't get extra D&D points for keeping them until the end of the session. It also bumps up to a D8 for better luck for your buddies or worse aim for your foes. You also get 3rd level spells like Intellect Fortress to give a creature advantage on Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma saving throws, and resistance to psychic damage for up to a minute depending on your concentration. Lots of psychics in the mutant arena, and some of them are real jerks. Enjoy that advantage. 6th level lore bards get additional magical secrets, letting you learn 2 spells from any list of 3rd level or lower. Fortune's Favor gives a creature a luck die for an hour, effectively giving you 6 more. Honestly, it's the most in-character spell you can cast, and when you cast it at higher levels, it shares the luck with the team. Bless is the anti-bane, giving 3 friendly creatures a d4 to add to attack rolls or saving throws for up to a minute depending on your concentration, so you, Cable, and I guess Deadpool can be better. Fingers crossed Cannonball shows up. Wade doesn't need any help. Back over to Rogue now. 5th level rogues get Uncanny Dodge. To take half damage from an attack as a reaction, once you run out of inspiration die to make people miss, you can use this an unlimited amount of times to still keep the damage off. But to put the damage on, 3d6 sneak attack damage should do the trick. 6th level rogues will get Expertise in 2 more skills. Persuasion will help you talk to people, and Perception will stop people from sneaking up on you. 7th level rogues get Evasion, letting you take half damage on failed dex saves and no damage on successful ones. Domino doesn't have to look both ways before crossing the street. Traffic just misses her. But after you use steady aim, you'll never miss anyone with 4d6 sneak attack damage. 8th level rogues get another ability score improvement. We have to start working on that Dexterity modifier. All the feats and skills are great, but sometimes you just have to shoot people. 9th level swashbucklers get Panache, which will let you contest your persuasion with a target's insight, but does different things depending on if the target is hostile. If they're non-hostile, they're charmed for a minute. If they are hostile, they have disadvantage hitting creatures that aren't you for a minute, so you can make them chase you around, bumbling and stumbling like Elmer Fudd. You can even hit them with 5d6 sneak attack damage to truly humiliate them to death. 10th level rogues get an ability score improvement, letting you cap off that Dexterity modifier to make sure you never ever miss. But if you want to never miss with your skills, head to Rogue level 11 for Reliable Talent. That means that the lowest you can roll on a skill you're proficient with is a 10, followed by all of your modifiers. You have 12 skill proficiencies at this point and Expertise in 6 skills. If you can't use one of those to solve just about every problem, along with 9 luck die per day, I'm not sure you were meant to succeed. Maybe your DM is just railroading you into combat, in which case you've got 6d6 sneak attack damage to solve that problem too. 12th level rogues get another ability score improvement or feat. Let's start working on that charisma score for more cutting words and more vicious mockeries. 13th level swashbucklers get Elegant Maneuver, letting you use your bonus action to give yourself advantage on athletics or acrobatics checks, saving your luck die so that you don't have to use them on grapple escapes, or you could just use them on sick lips. We're really here for 76 sneak attack damage. That's some wild damage with sharpshooter mixed in. Our capstone is the 14th level of rogue for blind sense, making you aware of any invisible creature within 10 feet of you. You're now so lucky that you can shoot an invisible target. it. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how viable this build is. First, you don't fail skill checks. Thanks to Jack of all trades, your range is from +4 to +17 with the 12 skills you're proficient with, and you can't roll lower than a 10. Pair that with luck and you become even more consistent, basically getting free advantage up to 9 times per day with your fortune's favor spells. Finally, you're a master sniper with a shot from a heavy crossbow dealing 1d10 plus 76 plus 15 damage per shot or 41 damage with median rolls, consistently putting the hurt on. For weaknesses, you're low on HP. Even if you're good at keeping the damage off, none of that luck matters if your bones aren't denser. Physical saving throws are also an issue. You'll always have -1 to strength saves, so it doesn't really matter if you're rolling that luck die. Finally, we just weren't able to cap off your charisma modifier since we had to grab all those feats, so your non-luck spells might not be all that effective. But why would you use those? Get lucky all day, every day, forever. You're the most consistent team member the X-Force or any other team has ever had, but it couldn't hurt to get someone who can hurt a little more. Don't worry, I see a lot of luck in the future of your friendships.
My name's Cable. I'm from the future. Just walk away.
Let's start off with our goals for this build. First, it's nerf or nothing. You're such a powerful mutant, I have an in-character reason to nerf you with the techno-organic virus. Cable is one of those characters that's kind of a god when he's at full power, but spends 90% of his time nerfed down. To me, that means your DM will sometimes put in a narrative reason for you to open up an entire keg of whoop-ass, but your general build is on par with the rest of the team. You'll still be a total badass, but not a god. So, back to the goals. Guns. Lots of guns. Cable runs around with more lasers than his dad would, if his dad had lasers and not optic concussive blasts. Next, we need the big brain with some psychic powers so strong they can fight the nerf juice and still come out as actual psychic powers. Finally, we need to be Donatello and Leonardo. Not only does Cable does machines, he's also pretty great at leading the team. For stats, we'll be using the point buy from the player's handbook. Roll for stats if you want, just watch those multi-classing minimums. Dexterity and intelligence can get cranked up to 15. You make the best guns and shoot them better than anyone else. Constitution at 13. Turns out that robot infection you have actually makes you more durable. Strength and wisdom at 10. Might seem a little low, but we can buff strength up and wisdom just has to take a hit for everything else to be higher. We'll dump charisma down to 8. You're a bit gruff, but chalk that up to living after the end of the world. I'm already kind of all over the place when it comes to mutants, but that makes sense. Mutants are kind of all over the place. Thankfully, this mutant is slowly getting taken over by micro machines, so we can make him a warforged for +2 constitution and +1 dexterity, because that's what I want. The +1 can go anywhere. Your constructed resilience gives you resistance to poison damage, advantage on poison saving throws. You don't need to eat, drink, breathe, or sleep, instead just powering down for a sentry's rest, standing still to get the benefits of a short rest, but remaining alert. It's easy to sleep with one eye open when one of those eyes doesn't close. The best part is integrated protection, merging you with a set of armor and giving you +1 to your AC while you're fused with it. We'll make sure to get you some heavy metal. I know you don't like dubstep. Grab perception for your free skill and build your own background for Arcana and Investigation. Call it the Future Man background or Terminator. You have a lot in common with Arnie. We'll kick things off as a fighter, mostly to make sure that we get heavy armor proficiency for you to integrate with, but also for athletics and intimidation. You're big and scary until someone sees your widow baby feet. Grab unarmed fighting for your fighting style, letting you deal 1d6 damage with your unarmed attacks, 1d8 if you have 2 free hands, and you deal 1d4 to a creature you have grappled once per round. Honestly, power building wise, grab archery for +2 to your attack rolls with ranged weapons, but Cable can punch pretty hard with his big old metal arm, and we'll have other stuff for our ranged attacks later. Of course, you also get second wind, heal 1d10 plus your fighter level as a bonus action once per short rest, patching yourself up with a little extra metal. Second level fighters get action surge, letting you make 2 actions in 1 turn once per short rest. You have a ton of options by the end of this to get whatever you need to do. Cable is all about efficiency. Third level fighters can choose a martial archetype. Psi Knights get psionic powers they can use psionic energy dice for. Those are a number of d6s equal to double your proficiency bonus, and you can use them for things like a protective field, letting you reduce damage for a creature within 30 feet of you by the die plus your intelligence modifier, throwing up a force field for you or a buddy. Psionic Strike lets you add your psionic die and intelligence modifier in force damage to 1 attack per round whenever you're attacking a creature within 30 feet of you. If someone's getting a little too close, put some extra stank on your attacks. Telekinetic movement lets you move an object or creature of large or smaller 30 feet, or if it's tiny, you can move it to or from your hand, letting you conjure a weapon to yourself. You can do this once per short rest, otherwise you're going to be spending your psionic energy die on it, so make sure you've got some for force fields and psionic shots later. 4th level fighters get an ability score improvement. Let's round up our constitution and intelligence. Odd numbers are bad numbers, and you can always use more health, and intelligence is about to make some big moves. First though, 5th level fighters get an extra attack, letting you make 2 attacks instead of 1 with your action, and up to 4 with your action surge, as long as you're not using something like a gun that would have the loading property. But Cable doesn't use guns, does he? Let's bounce over to Artificer then, making you a magical tinkerer first, so you can put tiny magical effects in tiny non-magical items. Lots of sensory effects, light up graphics, techie type stuff. You also get spells and cantrips. Mending puts 2 pieces of something back together or fixes a small crack in something. Unfortunately, it does not heal Warforged, but I think it should. Message lets you communicate with someone telepathically, whispering a short message to them within 120 feet of you, and they can whisper back, though I don't know if you want weight in your head. For first level spells, Catapult forces a dexterity saving throw on creatures as you yeet an object at them telekinetically, dealing 3d8 bludgeoning damage to those that fail. Jump triples a creature's jump distance. Obviously, you can do some pretty sweet robo jumps. Second level Artificers get Infusions, cool toys you bring back from the future to be better in the present. Repeating Shot adds 1 to the attack and damage rolls of a weapon. It has unlimited ammo, and you don't have to worry about the loading penalties, so you can fire a gun multiple times with your extra attack. Enhanced Defense adds 1 to the AC of a set of armor. You currently don't have the strength for the heavy stuff, but a breastplate would give you 19 AC at this point, which is pretty good even at higher levels. Sending Stones let you whisper between them like fantasy walkie-talkies without the range restriction of message, and Goggles of Night will let you see in the dark with your bad Warforged eyes. Third level Artificers get another extra attack. Kind of. Artillerists kind of do. You get an arcane turret that you can activate as a bonus action to do 1 of 3 things. You can make a ranged spell attack that deals 2d8 force damage for a ballista, a flamethrower that forces a dexterity saving throw on creatures, dealing 2d8 fire damage to those that fail, or just give a creature a d8 plus your intelligence modifier in temporary HP. If you'd rather increase your bulk and play tank, go for the shield. If you'd rather wield lasers akimbo, get that ballista going. You also get artillerist spells for free, like Shield to add 5 to your AC as a reaction to just stop damage from coming in altogether, or Thunderwave to force a Constitution saving throw on creatures in a 15-foot cube in front of you, dealing 2d8 thunder damage to those that fail and pushing them back 10 feet, half damage and no pushing if they succeed. That should let you explode a force field to force people to stay away from you. 4th level Artificers get another ability score improvement, bump your dexterity modifier to make your shots more accurate and more deadly. 5th level Artillerists get an arcane firearm to add a d8 of extra damage to a spell casting focus when you make a spell attack through it. Scorching Ray works great for that, firing 3 fireballs that deal 2d6 fire damage each, hitting multiple targets or just 1. That extra damage only applies to 1 shot, but that little extra damage could be the difference between the good future and the bad future. Shatter forces a Constitution saving throw on creatures in a 10-foot radius, dealing 3d8 thunder damage to those that fail, half as much to those that succeed. Inorganic materials and creatures made of inorganic materials have disadvantage, so it's really good at taking down sentinels. Both of those are free from Artillerist. For your spell of choice, how about Enlarge Reduce, letting you make a creature larger, giving them advantage on strength checks and saves, and an extra d4 for their attacks with weapons. For some reason, your feet don't get bigger, but hey, big muscle man and big gun sounds pretty cool. Pretty 90s. You could also make a creature smaller if they fail a wisdom saving throw for the opposite effect. I'm not totally sure that's in character, but Cable is one of those characters that I'm not totally confident hasn't done something like that. He does a lot of weird stuff. 6th level Artificers get Tool Expertise, letting you double your proficiency bonus with tools you're proficient with, so Tinkerers, Thieves, and Woodcarvers from Artillerist. You've got to have your tools! You also get 2 more infusions here. Enhanced Arcane Focus adds 1 to the attack rolls with a Arcane Focus, and lets you ignore half cover for the most accurate fireball laser spam. Spell Refueling Ring lets you recover a spell slot of 3rd level or lower once per day, almost like you're turning back time to get it back. 7th level Artificers get Flash of Genius, letting you add your intelligence modifier to an ability check or saving throw of a creature within 30 feet of you, which would make you more of a badass, or you could add Force to your X-Force, helping you lead the team even when you're kind of a grump. 8th level Artificers get another ability score improvement, bump your intelligence modifier up for better fireballs and bonus action turret shots. Especially important with the 9th level Artillerist ability, giving you a boost to the damage of the arcane turret with Explosive Turret. That'll add another d8 of damage to your turret shots or flamethrowers, or you could make it explode, forcing a dexterity saving throw on creatures in a 20-foot radius, dealing 3d8 force damage to those that fail. Do not let Deadpool get a hold of future tech, he will not use it responsibly. You can also learn 3rd level spells like Fireball from Artillerist to launch a full-on missile at someone or some ones, forcing a dexterity saving throw on creatures in a 20-foot radius and dealing 8d6 fire damage to those that fail, half as much to those that succeed. Haste lets you warp time a little bit, doubling your movement speed, adding 2 to your AC, giving you advantage on dexterity saving throws, and an extra action to dash, disengage, hide, use an object, or make 1 more attack. Extend that magazine and drastically shorten the future of your foes. Just keep in mind, time warping is exhausting. You're going to need a round off of actions and reactions when the spell ends. 10th level Artificers are magical item adepts, letting you attune up to 4 magical items at once. Gauntlets of Ogre Power will set your strength score to 19 for a metal arm that can do some serious lifting and decent punching. Eyes of the Eagle will give you advantage on perception checks, which also adds 5 to your passive perception to stop people from getting the drop on you and your rad metal eye. Your enhanced defense and enhanced arcane focus bonuses also bump up to +2 here, which makes your base AC 21 with your integrated protection and the heaviest of heavy armors, which you now have the strength score to use properly. 11th level Artificers get Spell Storing Item, letting you put a spell of 2nd level or lower into into an object, then creatures can cast that spell from that object using your intelligence modifier a number of times equal to double your intelligence modifier. Use Scorching Ray, and you can hand someone with a laser with 6 rounds of triple burst fire, or you could use it for yourself for 6 free second level laser shots. 12th level artificers get our last ability score improvement, or feat. I think Sharpshooter will be the best. It does the same thing it did with Domino. You can fire at max range without disadvantage, ignore all but full cover, and take a -5 penalty to your attack rolls to add 10 to the damage rolls. Since we didn't cap our dexterity modifier, that might seem really risky, but it basically gets rounded up with repeating shot anyway, and rounded up even more if you chose archery instead of unarmed fighting because you want to be the biggest badass possible, and he really just uses guns. I don't even think he needs unarmed fighting. 13th level artificers get 4th level spells. Fabricate lets you totally restructure some raw materials into something. If it's organic, it can be large or smaller. If it's mineral, it can be medium or smaller. It's really up to you how you use it, or you could just use it for more haste, since that's just the big badass boy spell. 14th level artificers are magical item savants, letting you attune up to 5 magical items at once. Ring of Protection will add 1 to your AC and saving throws to just make you even harder to hit, and Amulet of Health will bump your constitution to 19, which isn't as much of a buff as it is on other characters since your constitution was already good, but an extra 19 HP isn't too shabby. Our capstone is the 15th level of Artillerist, giving you and your allies fortified position for the benefits of half cover when you're within 10 feet of the Eldritch Cannon, which means +2 to your AC and +2 to dexterity saving throws. Pair that with haste, and your boy has 25 base AC before using shield as a reaction. That's pretty good. Obviously, that's the only thing you'd get since this is pretty busted. Wait, nope, you can also summon 2 cannons and shoot them at the same time with a bonus action. Okay, that seems fair. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how viable this build is. First, remember when I said we were nerfing you? Yeah, that didn't really pan out. You're good at almost everything except talking to people, and even that you can use Flash of Genius on to get decent. You can also open up some serious firepower with an action surge giving you 4 sharp shots, haste giving you a 5th, 1 psi bolstered shot, and 2 turret shots as your bonus action. You'll end up with 5d10 plus 75 piercing damage plus 6d8 plus 1d6 plus 4 force damage, or around 131 with median rolls. For weaknesses, low charisma means you're not good at talking to people, and you could get banished from your timeline. You also never ended up capping any stat. Intelligence would be very helpful for more spell storing items and flashes of geniuses, and dexterity would help you shoot good. Finally, even though you've got solid perception, your wisdom saving throw is rough. If you fought a guy who can control metal, they can just cast hold person and bully you while you can't move. Thankfully, pretty sure a guy like that doesn't exist. Cable is the ultimate fighter, and Domino is the ultimate role player. Put them together, and surely you're an X-force to be reckoned with. Just make sure that the rest of the team isn't too feral. When you're on the warpath, you don't want people cannonballing in to make a boom boom. I couldn't fit Shatterstar in there, so Shatterstar. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe for more. We're doing double videos every day this month. Join the Patreon for this sheet and a whole bunch more, and sub to Tulok and Mango for more Tulok fun.